The opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Eastlink TV, its sponsors, or partners.
Hi there, I'm Gloria McCluskey, and you're watching Destination Dartmouth. My destination today is at the great North Dartmouth Community Food Center here at 6 Primrose Street, and my guest is Deborah Dickey, manager. Deborah, thank you for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
We're here today in this great Dartmouth Community Food Center here on Primrose Street, and I want you to tell me all about it.
Sure.
How you got started, and it was 2015.
Yes, we opened our doors in 2015. We are part of the Dartmouth Family Center organization, which has been around in the community for over 20 years.
And they're on Albert Lake Road.
They're on Albert Lake Road, yeah. And we opened this second site 3 years ago, really because we recognized that there was some unmet need in the community, and so we started doing some exploring to see what we could do.
And you're in partnership with Community Food Center Canada?
Yes, we are, yeah. So Community Food Centers Canada is a national organization, and they support community food centers like this across the country. So they were the main partner for Dartmouth Family Center in the early days, before the space was open, that really allowed us to be able to build this site in the community.
I was up here the night they were here, and it was an exciting time.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
It's very exciting to have you here.
Yeah.
So we'll talk a bit about, you have a board of directors?
We do, yeah.
And they kind of look after the
so
operation?
Their role is really the overall strategic direction of the organization. So they do a lot of connecting throughout the city and the province, so that we can ensure as best we can sustainability for the long term. And of course, they're in charge of hiring the executive director, who oversees both the family center and the food center sites. So their role is really less about the direct delivery of operation and more about our overall strategic direction as an organization.
Good, that's great. And the funding?
So Community Food Centers Canada is our major funding partner for this site. So that in addition to providing a lot of programming support, they provide ongoing funding for operations.
Okay.
But we do have to fundraise a significant amount of money for the food center.
So you're
in order
open
to keep
for
it going.
donations?
We are definitely open for donations. Yes,
Somebody wants to start a fundraiser for you or something?
Yeah. If people are interested in fundraisers, they can contact either myself or our fundraising person and talk about that. But we do really rely on a lot of individual donations.
And Deborah, while you've been here since 2015, there are a lot of people in Dartmouth who do not know that you exist.
Yeah, for sure.
So I hope that through this program, some more people will learn about the great work you do here.
Yes,
and will come
that would be great. Yeah.
Both financially and volunteering in other aspects of your show. Now I come up here, and it's wonderful. You not only provide great food, I see them with their bowls of oatmeal porridge, something that they probably never had before they came here. And what a way to start the day.
Right.
But it's not only for the food they get, it's for the social part of it.
It's definitely a huge piece of what we're doing here. Yeah.
They're at the table, and they're all talking about different things.
Yeah.
Sharing their problems.
And one of the things we know is that there is a lot of social isolation in Dartmouth North. So there's a lot of people who are living alone and maybe can't get out of their apartments because of mobility issues and those sorts of things, or even just feeling like they don't have a reason to leave their apartment because they don't know other people. So it's something that we've heard a lot over the last 3 years is having that place to meet people is good. Yeah.
And years ago, because of what you're saying, they feel isolated. When we were Dartmouth Council, we changed the zoning so that there wouldn't be so many apartment buildings because all the single-family homes were disappearing.
Yes.
And that was taking away from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So they come here and they enjoy each other's company.
Yes, for sure.
And it's and if you're not open, they're not happy. Was it last week you were closed? Yeah.
Yes.
I came up one day and they said, it's not open.
Yes.
It's closed for the week.
Yes, we had our summer closure so we could repaint. We were really fortunate that we had a great community member who volunteered their time to come in and repaint the walls for us.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, so it was a huge support because, you know, the space is big and it would have been a big expense.
Clean looking.
Yeah.
I noticed that some of the stuff that was on the wall is gone.
Yes. So we will be putting stuff back on the walls, but over time, for sure.
So let's talk about, besides your drop-in program, you have meals, Deborah.
Yes.
And that's on Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
That's right, yeah. So every Monday we do a young family supper in the evening.
Yes.
So it's really open to community members who are coming with their children. So typically school age or high school age and younger. And it's just kind of a nice time for them to have a meal out, not have to worry about cleanup, you know.
And to meet other families.
Meet other families. The kids play together. They look forward to meeting up with each other here on Monday nights. So that's been...
so what kind of food do you serve?
It could be a whole range of things. So we try to focus on food that's nutritious but also really delicious. And for the family supper, we pay special attention to things that would be child-friendly. So, for example, we know that children love to dip vegetables. You know, that's much more appealing than eating salad if you're a young child.
Exactly.
So, you know, just kind of being tuned into what might appeal to children is really,
because if you put a salad in front of them, probably be left.
It takes a bit of time for them to get used to that, And we also do a Wednesday community lunch, so that's open to everybody in the community, and we have a whole range of ages, right from infants up to seniors.
I've been here when
it's on. And then on Friday, we do what's called our Good Food Cafe. So very similar, it's a full meal, but it's set out buffet style. So people can choose, from an array of foods that they're interested in trying.
Yeah, I've been here. And I've seen that too.
Yeah.
And it's great. And they're eating things that they never had an opportunity to eat before.
Yes, for sure.
And enjoying it. I see them, they like the broccoli and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, Deborah, we're going to soon take a break.
Okay.
And but when we can get back, we'll talk about some of the other programs.
Okay.
I know there are many other programs.
Yes.
And you have a chef who just left, don't you?
Yes, we do. We had a staff person doing
wearing
meals
pink that day.
Yes, that's right. He went back to school.
Yeah.
It's a good reason to leave.
For
but
him.
Yeah,
that's great. But he was very popular.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Because a lot of the residents who come in were wearing pink.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
So
it was a pretty fun day. Yeah.
So have you replaced him?
Yes. So the person who is taken over for the year while he's finishing up school, her name is Emily, and she was actually a dietetic intern with us full-time for 4 months last year. So she knows the community well, she knows the kitchen well, and
she knows some of the people.
Yes.
We're going to take a break now, Deborah. You're watching Destination Dartmouth. My guest is Deborah Dickey. We're here at the Great Dartmouth North Food Court Center. Deborah, we're back. The other thing I notice happening here, Deborah, is there are women who are doing crafts. I see them knitting.
Yes.
And doing there's a lady who works with them doing all different kinds of crafts.
Some arts and crafts. So both of those programs were actually initiated by community members when they first started coming here, and they approached staff and just said, I'm really interested in knitting, I'm really interested in art and craft, can I lead something? So, so we said sure, and those activities take place during our drop-in and leading up to our meal time. So anybody who comes to the center can sit down with them, bring their knitting, or we have supplies here. We've had donations of yarn and all that kind of stuff. So if people don't have their own supplies, they can come and we'll have that for them.
And then they set up a table and sell.
Yes, yes. So that has been ongoing during our Friday market.
Yes.
And we have had a volunteer who's sets the knitting up and sells pieces, and then all of the money that is recovered goes back into buying more supplies for the community.
They have the great little dishcloths.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Dishcloths.
Yeah, the dishcloths are very popular.
Which are very popular. And I also noticed that every day you have puzzles ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we do.
So you're not only feeding their bellies, you're feeding their minds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we try to have some activities. Sometimes people will come to the drop-in and sit with their friends and play crib, or they might play cards for a bit. Might do puzzles or word searches and that sort of thing. So it's really, we try to have the space open as a nice social time where people can get something to eat if they want, have a coffee, but also have some relaxed social time with friends.
Yeah, I noticed them doing the puzzles. And seem to enjoy them.
Yeah.
And the coffee, of course, is very popular.
Oh yes, of course. Yes. Yeah.
And you have some little ones who come here every day.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, so we definitely have regular families who come. Yeah, and we have a play space for them, and we actually do cooking classes as well.
I was just going to mention that. You do cooking classes.
We do. So we start them very young. So from the age 2 to 5.
That's very important.
Yes, yeah, and get them used to trying different foods, and as we know, children are much more likely to eat something that they've helped prepare.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, so so we get them into the kitchen with their families, and it's a kind of a nice family time for them to have the chance to make something that maybe they haven't before. And then once they are 6 years old, they can come to a program that we do called Young Cooks. So at that point, they're coming without their parents, and they have an opportunity to work with our staff and our facilitators to make some recipes.
What they're going to cook?
It's a bit of a collaboration. So once they start, the staff will have a discussion with them about what they would like to make, and then looking at how feasible that is in terms of the time that we have with the children and that sort of thing.
And how nourishing it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they do lots of things that families we're hoping be able to replicate at home. So we really pay attention to how easy it is for families to obtain the ingredients, and not making things too complicated. So there's lots of great recipes you can make with just 5 or 6 ingredients, and so promoting that sort of cooking is important.
But you also have adult cooking classes.
Yeah, we do. So we do the same kind of sessions. We have a couple of programs that are going to be starting in the next couple of weeks. And they are for adults, so we do a community kitchen that is 8 weeks long, and anyone who's interested can, contact us. And it's the same sort of thing. They would work with our staff and volunteers and make a meal together, so it would be a variety of different recipes. And then they sit together and eat at the end of the program, and then typically there's leftovers, so they pack that up and they can bring home each week an additional meal or 2. So we've had really great feedback about that. People really enjoy
That's great.
the opportunity.
I noticed the chairs set up when somebody's giving them a recipe.
Yes.
Telling them how to, I think it was a salad dressing one day I was there.
Right. Yes, we've started doing in the past year food demonstrations as well. So when people aren't really ready or they're not able to commit to coming to an 8-week program, they can stop in on a Friday after the market's
Sure.
over, and for an hour there's a demonstration of a recipe being made, and sometimes we give out small packages of some of the ingredients, and then they get a chance to taste it and take the recipe home and that sort of thing. So that's been really, really well attended by the
Deborah,
community.
where do you get your food? You have to purchase it yourself?
We do, yes. Yeah, so we purchase the food. We get a few food donations, but for the most part, we are purchasing everything.
Except for your garden.
Except for what we grow in the garden. Yes, that's right. Yeah, and we do get some people donating produce from their home gardens, which is nice too. But the vast majority of what we would be serving, we have to purchase. So we really rely on our funders and writing grants and individual donations to be able to purchase that.
And that must be kind of stressful at times.
Yeah, well,
when
it's
the kitchen gets
definitely
low and
yeah, it's definitely an ongoing, you know, like probably not a day goes by where there isn't some discussion, you know, amongst the fundraising core staff, and always kind of strategizing how we're going to continue to bring in the funding and ensure that the space is sustainable. But we have had really, really excellent support from funders and individuals and foundations.
You don't get food from the food bank, though, do you?
We are a member of Feed Nova Scotia, so they come several times a week and drop off bread.
Yes.
So what we do with the bread, we do have that available for toast during our morning drop-ins. But a lot of it goes directly out to the community.
Right, I see it over here on the bench.
For sure.
Boxes of
yes,
it.
yeah.
And well, that's great.
Yeah.
So that's a help too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we're going to be taking another break, Deborah.
Great.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about your great garden.
Okay.
How it got started, because I know it was a rock pile once.
Yes, it was.
I was very familiar with this neighborhood.
Yeah.
We're taking a break, and we'll be back. You're watching Destination Dartmouth, and my guest is Deborah Dickey, the manager of this great Dartmouth North Community Food Center. See you in a minute. Deborah, we're back. And as promised, we're going to talk about that wonderful garden you have out there, which was once nothing but a rock pile. It's amazing what you've done there.
Yeah, there's been a lot of work that's gone into that piece of land over the past couple years. We were really fortunate to be able to lease that piece of land.
Oh, that piece of land didn't belong to Sobeys.
It does, but it's a separate lot from the piece that the building's on. Yeah, so we don't pay for it, which is really, really great that they've been able to do that for us.
Oh, isn't that great?
It's about 20,000 square feet, and it was just rock and grass.
So kudos
before.
to Sobeys.
Yeah, it's been a huge benefit for the community. We've worked quite hard over the past couple of years to get it to the point that it is.
A lot of labor went into that.
A lot of labor, yeah, and a lot of community volunteers or community members that are coming out and helping to work on it week to week, but also a lot of support from some of our corporate supporters who have sent teams of employees out to help on the farm from time to time. We've had the United Way Day of Caring set up days to have people come and help us on the farm. So there's been a lot of different ways that groups have contributed.
And Deborah, there are a lot of people, or there are some people, who have moved out of their homes where they once had a nice garden to an apartment building, and they must really miss gardening. So this is an opportunity. For them to come up here and help out in this great garden.
Yeah, we hear it all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah, all the time. A lot of people who will say that they grew up in rural Nova Scotia and have always had a garden, or their parents always had a garden, and now they have no space to do it. So yeah.
And it would be wonderful if they would come up here and share their time and their expertise.
For sure. Yeah, exactly.
They were gardeners. And here, some of the people who are helping were not gardeners.
That's right.
They're
yeah,
learning
there's
as
a
they
real
go
mix
along.
of people, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you have beautiful sunflowers there.
Mm-hmm.
I've never taken a liking to sunflowers.
Oh, really?
I love flowers, but
Yeah.
sunflowers, it seems to me, when the seeds reach a stage that
Mm-hmm.
they're moving,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
but they look beautiful up
Yeah,
there.
the
So what
birds
kind
like
of-
them too.
Yeah, oh,
so,
that's
yeah.
why.
Yeah.
I grew them one year for the birds.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
what kind of crops do you have out there, Deborah?
Oh, we have a real mix of things. So lots of different greens, kale, Swiss chard, lots of beans.
Lots of garlic.
Lots and lots of garlic for sure. There's been onions, beets,
Cucumbers?
cucumbers,
Zucchini?
different squashes, lots of zucchini, lots and lots of
wonderful?
tomatoes. Yeah, so a whole variety of different things. We do have a greenhouse that is pretty full of tomatoes and eggplant and basil right now. So we're kind of in the process of doing a lot of tomato harvesting.
And you built a little shed there.
We do, yes. We were able to build a small barn this year, which is housing currently a lot of our garlic, but of course is a much needed storage space as well. So that's been a really great addition to the farm.
So now with the fall coming, when you're all finished, you'll need somebody to come and help to pull all the old stuff,
Yeah,
take it
yeah.
all away, all the bean stalks.
For
or
sure,
Whatever's
yeah.
left, the cucumber vines, or
Yeah.
pull it away and get it ready.
Yeah, I believe last year they were working right up till the beginning of November,
Oh, yes.
putting the garden to bed. So yeah, we will continue to need community and volunteer support right up until then.
And planting your garlic again.
That's right. Yes,
So you plant
Yeah.
that in November.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I planted it for the first time last year.
Yes.
Very excited with
Yes.
my crop.
Yes.
Do you have any berries out there?
We do, yeah. Around the perimeter of the garden, we have lots of different types of berries, raspberries, strawberries. There's some other types that I can't tell you the name of, but...
But your garden, they respect the garden. You don't have any vandalism in your garden.
We've had no problems at all.
Isn't that wonderful?
One of the things that we have done, which I think has been really great for the community, is put in plots around the edges of the
Yeah,
garden that
for
are called
residents.
Take Me plots.
Yeah.
So anybody walking by, and I saw a gentleman just this morning who was walking through and leaned over to one of the Take Me plots and picked something and was munching on it as he kept
Oh,
going.
isn't that good?
So that's the purpose of it.
And then
yeah.
some residents have garden boxes.
They do, yeah. So there's a chance for people to get their own garden plot and grow food that is just for their family. And they don't need any experience because we have staff and volunteers here who can support
help them,
them if
sure.
they've never grown things before.
So Deborah, I'd spend more time in the garden, but you know, our time is short, and I
Yeah.
want to talk about something else that you do here for the residents who come.
Yes, yeah. So we have a community action program, and I think this is a part of our programming that really makes us unique. We have a staff person who is dedicated to helping people to become engaged in their communities. So one of the ways that they do that is through working with community members and supporting them, training them to become peer advocates. And the peer advocate's role is to provide one-on-one support to community members. So during those times, the drop-in times, the meal times, when we have lots of people coming and going, anyone who is interested or in need of some extra support can go in and talk with the peer advocates and get connected to services that they need.
And that office is busy a lot of the time.
It is
I
very,
notice that.
very busy.
And
yes.
it's so helpful to the person when they know there's somebody they can go
Definitely,
in there
yeah.
and talk to.
Definitely.
Because
Yeah.
they don't know where to turn sometimes.
That's
and
right,
that's
yeah.
great.
And sometimes people just need a really solid connection to another service, and sometimes they just need somebody to listen for 10 minutes.
Exactly.
You know, so no matter what it is, the peer advocates can be that starting point for helping that person to
I'm not
gain
really a
support.
peer advocate, but I go around
Yes.
listening to them and helping them when
Yes, for
with
sure.
tenancy problems
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so on whenever I can.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
there's a great need for that, so it's great that you
Yeah,
have that
Definitely, yeah.
advocacy center.
The
Well,
other thing that they've been doing is hosting community conversations. So that's an evening time on a monthly basis where they invite the community in to talk about any kind of issues that are impacting them.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, so it's been really effective.
Well, we're running out of time, Deborah. I just want to once more speak to the general public out there about how you need volunteers, both in your kitchen, in your garden, and if you're looking to garden, come up here to 6 Primrose Street and work your heart out.
Yes, for sure.
So
yes.
thanks a lot. And
Thank
you need
you.
money, of course, donations.
We're
are
always
money.
taking donations, yeah.
So thanks a lot, Deborah. It's been
Thank
great
you so much.
talking to
It's
you.
been great. Yeah.
You've been watching Destination Dartmouth, and my guest is Deborah Dickey, the manager of the Great North Dartmouth Community Food Centre. See you soon.